The Psalms were the hymn book, but also the prayer book of the people of Israel in the Old and in the New Testament times. And whatever we have on our hearts, we can find solidarity with one or other of the Psalms. And for that reason, they're a good place to look for inspiration when it comes to prayer ourselves. The Psalms are split into a number of categories. There are Psalms of praise, there are messianic Psalms that point forward to the coming of the Messiah. But the largest proportion of the Psalms, the largest section of the Psalms, are the Psalms of lament. They themselves fall into different categories of complaint or calling down judgment upon an enemy. But as a category, they teach us that it is okay to go to God, and we don't have to make our prayers more polite. We don't have to make ourselves more churchified, if you like. Whatever we're feeling on our heart, we can take that to God. If we feel down, if we feel angry, if we feel sad, if we feel frustrated or exasperated, we can take those thoughts honestly to God. It's more important that we express those things within the context of our covenant relationship with God than it is that we express them in some other environment or some other context. It's our right as his children to go into his presence and to be honest. I've just picked one psalm to give an illustration of what I'm talking about. This is Psalm 13, a psalm which was written by David. We don't know the exact circumstances of it, but it's enough to show us that we're allowed to ask God difficult questions. One of the reasons why singing psalms is such a blessing to God's people is that hymn writers rarely ask the difficult questions of God that the psalmists do. So this is Psalm 13. How long, O Lord, will you forget me forever? How long will you hide your face from me? How long must I take counsel in my soul and have sorrow in my heart all the day? How long shall my enemy be exalted over me? Consider and answer me, O Lord my God. Light up my eyes, lest I sleep the sleep of death. Lest my enemy say I have prevailed over him, lest my foes rejoice because I am shaken. But I have trusted in your steadfast love. My heart shall rejoice in your salvation. I will sing to the Lord because he has dealt bountifully with me. So there's a fourfold question at the beginning of that psalm. 4 times David asked the Lord, how long? How long? We're in the midst of a lockdown where a lot of us asking how long. But 4 times, our problem that is certainly partly spiritual in nature, will you forget me forever, hide your face from me, also partly worldly in circumstance. How long shall my enemy be exalted over me? So he asks the difficult questions. But the thing that these Psalms of Lament often feature at the end as a characteristic is that after the complaint, after the pouring out of the heart to God, they always come back to this place of faith and trust in the Lord. So the last verse after his complaint, I have trusted, but I have trusted in your steadfast love. My heart shall rejoice in your salvation. I will sing to the Lord because he has dealt bountifully with me. So we put our trust in the Lord, even though we know that it feels painful for many people, even though our own circumstances might feel difficult and dire at the moment, we still put our trust in the Lord. I remember hearing a while ago, or reading rather, a story about Japanese prisoner of war camp soldiers. And as the soldiers in the camp managed to cobble together a very crude radio, very creative. I mean, it's almost A-team level creativity. But they managed to, and of course they had to keep it secret, but they managed to tune in to a broadcast which told them that the Allies had won and that the war was over, that the Japanese had surrendered. However, it was going to take several days until the Allied soldiers arrived at the camp. So they had a period of time where they had the good news, where they could live in more than hope. It was a hope that was certainty, that they could put their trust in a salvation that they knew was already won and was just not yet in its fullness for them. That's how I read a psalm like Psalm 13, or the psalmist's attitude. He knows that the Lord has saved him. He knows that he can put his trust in the Lord, but he has to endure, as we all have to endure, something of a broken and fallen and sinful world. But when we pray, we put our trust in God, and we know that he will not let us down.